Hi, everybody. This is Vaughn with Sweet Rocks Crystal Healing, and this is episode 8 of my Coffee and Rocks. Um, kind of just a review with my audience. Just my Coffee and Rocks is just me enjoying a cup of coffee with you. We talk rocks like this one that I'm wearing today. I'm kind of feeling this one today, so it's going to be a good day. Um, but basically, my conversation. Oh, and if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and hit that subscribe. Go ahead and hit that notification too, because I got lots of content coming up. Now that I'm into my sovereignty, if you will, I'm going to be putting myself out there a lot more. This year, starting this month, I'm going to start getting my TikTok going, start doing all my short videos, and get creative with my creations, just to kind of get taken off. So my episode today is just this time I'm feeling like just reflecting. Being 8 coming into 9, and an interesting number of 8 being infinite. And it's interesting because even my birthday, which is 5/3/88, and 5 and 3, May 3rd, 5 and 3 is 8. So 888, there's your trio. But 1988 reduces back down to 8, which is so crazy. So 8 has always been like a powerful number to me. And what's kind of synchronistic to it is I absolutely love playing 8-ball pool my whole life. Don't know why I was obsessed with the 8 ball, but now that I've kind of gotten into my life and understanding who I am on a soul level, 8 is just an interesting one. Now, as I was looking through my life path, I'm actually life path 7, which is like a seeker. For the longest time, I had miscalculated things and thought I was the teacher, life path 5. But I am a great teacher. So you go from teacher and then you become seeker because of your ability to just draw on wisdom and knowledge. It's just fascinating. So this medallion that I'm wearing today, this is Green Aventurine. And when I created this one, I was you've probably seen in one of my driving talks that I just my daughter was taken from me and I'm not allowed to see her until I get things established through the courts, which is it's really hard for me because the last 2 years we haven't had to deal with any of this. The last 2 years I've had my daughter with me every 2 weeks for 2 weeks at a time, and things seem to be going good. I've been working through my shadows, been working through my traumas and my experiences and my guilt and my misery. I've been working through all of the negative emotions that came with the breakup, and I've spent years since then to just become something that I don't know, become somebody who I've never been. Well, along in my journey, I just assumed that my ex was also healing and going through her things. And it only seemed like that's what was happening because of her commitment to this dude. And now that everything is unfolded, it almost seems like the dude was just a distraction from her in facing the reality of what she's created. And it's really unfortunate because the choices that was made, again, against my will, I had no say in the matter. And anything I said only fueled the fire. um, at which point, like as a man that is healing, is on this it a healed man becomes a dangerous man. And in a way I'm going through my dark night of the soul coming into this new year because the way the universe unfolded to me is that nothing is certain anymore. What I hoped and planned was I thought was certain isn't. 'Isn't. 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 ' reflecting on my past in the third D reality that we once lived, where pain and suffering is how we grow, I want to fight back. I want to get nasty. I want to speak my truth and use my words like a weapon. But again, as I'm reflecting on my past, I already tried that with my oldest. It didn't get me too far. As a matter of fact, it almost cost me a lot. It cost me more than I can imagine because I was fighting. But I don't feel like how I was feeling, what I was thinking. I don't think I was wrong. But I was becoming the very, very evil that they were saying that I was. In a way, I was falling into the narcissist and sociopathic traps of how they will play you and use you and manipulate you until you become the very thing that they have been trying to say. And then very conveniently they know when to play victim because they've got you right where they want you. And that's the trauma and abuse that I went through. It was a lot of narcissistic abuse. And it's really hard to understand what your worth is as a person when it's really hard to just recover, because everything being in a relationship that is focused on narcissistic abuse just eats at you. It eats at everything that you represent and stand for. And what I learned in that experience, however, the reason why I was treated the way I wasn't, I don't think it had anything directly related to what I was and what I represented. Rather, the reactions that happened that made me out to being a bad person was because I reacted to my emotions rather than responding. Now, had I not been pushed to that point, I would have never reacted like that. But these unhealed, sick people, well, they tend to do that too. In a way, they're like an energy vampire. They just sap you of your love, your happiness, your joy, your excitement, your zest on life. They sap you of that because they lack it on the inside and they want to feel it. They don't know how to do it themselves, so they'll take it from you. And once you've served your purpose, they will discard you. And you mean nothing. And I say this from my own experience. I say this because of my own experience. But through my healing journey, I've seen many others go through what I've gone through. And it just empowers me to continue on my journey of healing. It just empowers me to become more than I could ever imagine. And I'm learning through my healing that the power of love over the power of fear. Now, we all know how powerful fear is. But do we really know how powerful love is? And that's the journey that I've been embarking on. Is learning about my soul. Learning about how powerful I am outside of this reality. Learning about how divine I am as a being existing here, as a creator in this world. My experiences help me understand what others are going through, their hurt and their pain. And I've become more adept to recognizing when someone's hurting, and recognize when someone is projecting, recognizing when someone is trying to sap my energy, because my energy is precious. My energy is infinite. My energy is powerful. My energy is sacred. I willingly give my energy to people that I feel connected through love. My journey now is learning how to not give my energy to those that are trying to sap it. And it's really hard because we're so used to and conditioned to complying, being complacent, tolerating people's bullshit. We don't need, like, protecting your energy also means establishing boundaries. If a boundary has been crossed by somebody, how do they know they crossed the boundary? If someone's trespassing on your yard, how do they know they're trespassing if they didn't see your signs, your boundaries? How do they know they actually did it? We have to confront them. We have to bring awareness to them that they've crossed the line. And in a way, it's been slanted and skewed that in order to show love and kindness is that we don't react to anybody. We have to stave off and cut off and completely vanquish our ego. Like, all of these things are giving our powers away, that they tell us in the mainstream that we need to cut off our ego. But what is ego? Ego is what makes us us. It's our personality. It's how we perceive and define ourselves based on our perspectives. That's what our ego is. And I think that it's wrong to try to eliminate ego. I think that the correct way of approaching it is to find balance with it. And how do we do that? Now that's a hard question, and it's taken me a long time to just begin to comprehend the concept of how to control the ego. And it's not a matter of controlling anything. It's acknowledging that we have feelings. It's acknowledging that our boundaries have been crossed. It's acknowledging our experiences have made us to becoming who we are. It's also acknowledging that we're no better than anyone else. We're all equal. We're all the same. Man, woman, light skin, fair skin, dark skin, brown skin, yellow skin, red skin. Doesn't freaking matter. We're all human beings. We all have a heart. We all have two hands. Most of us have all of our fingers. Well, okay, maybe we're all losing appendages. But still, the majority of us, our natural biological blueprint is we got two eyes, two nose, mouth, a heart that beats the same, two ears to hear, fingers, toes, hands. We're all human. We all bleed the same. Our blood is all the same color. At least I think it is. There's some interesting things coming to light. But it's... we're all human. And in a way, I almost feel like ego, when we let it control us, it entices us to cast judgment. It entices us to have preconceived notions of things. Meaning, well, this is just how it is. Meaning, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Meaning, well, that's just how those type of people are. You see what I'm saying? I feel like when the ego gets in the way, we justify wrongdoings, we justify actions, we justify things in our life. And in my experience, again, I'm carrying a heavy burden when it was thrown. I mean, this is still 2 weeks. 2 weeks I haven't seen my little girl. And the scariest part is I don't know when I will get to see her again. Being a father that has seen my child take her first breath, has witnessed her see me for the very first time right after, like literally, like the doctors would clean her up. She was just born. She looks at me and she just smiles. This little babe that was no bigger than my freaking forearm. She literally hid underneath my arm when I held her. So tiny. And so sweet and so special. I connected with my child. I was a part of the whole process. I talked to her through the belly, like, all of it. All the things. I was a part of my child's life. And even when the mother was having rough times, I was still there to hold my child, comfort her, give kindness to her. I constantly held her bare skin. Like, that was the thing. She knows my warmth. She knows my frequency on a soul level. That's how connected I am to my child. And it was a deliberate attack to be kicked out the way that I was. It was deliberate attack on me to tell me that I'm not allowed to be a part of my child's life. And that's a very evil thing. Because I know my experience. I know what I went through. I know what I saw. So, when I made this medallion, this Green Aventurine, is tied to the heart chakra. When I made this, it's when you're dished with so much negativity, how do you transmute that to positive? And for me, when I created this, the energy that was focused was just that. My love for my child. My kindness. I know who I am. I know what I've done, and I hold myself accountable to my own mistakes. But I don't sit and wallow in my guilt. I don't sit and wallow in my misery. I have my days where some days are harder than others. Some days it's hard to tell myself cancel. Some days it's hard to not feel the hurt. But feeling the hurt is part of the healing journey. It's part of the process. Feeling that hurt is how we remember. And being authentic and true to ourselves, we remember everything to its detail. And that remembrance is what we will be teaching to our generations. How to overcome the journey of healing. I choose to channel my anguish and my frustration and my sadness. I choose to channel it using a silver lining method. Channel something beautiful. Share a kind message to somebody. Show gratitude. When I'm hurting, it is most important to be thankful for everything that you're at right now in your life. Because you are alive. And you're able to make choice. You're able to produce energy and give energy and hold energy. Even though we have things come against us, we still have a choice. We can still do it. We can still make it. And you are strong. You are powerful. This past week I've been doing a lot of getting more into my tarot, which is a divine masculine healing oracle. And since I've been doing my readings, I'm finding that these readings that I do are aligned with so many people are going through. It's crazy. So in Step Into Your Power and Ascension Mastery, I've started sharing my interpretations of my cards that I draw. The ones that I've been doing is just an energy for the day. Today's energy of the day is Chalk. Chalk is a Mayan god, the Mayan god for fertility and rain. And there's two different stories about Chalk. He worked with the god of the underworld. They worked together. So Chalk would rain seedlings to give life to this earth, and then the underworld will nip the buds off some of them to also create the dualistic nature of this world. But there's another story where Chalk had a romantic relationship with his brother's wife, his brother's betrothed. After the act of doing what he did, he felt so much guilt and misery it brought tears to his eyes, and he shed tears for the guilt and misery he held on to, which brought devastating rains and rain clouds. And the lesson to be learned with the Chalk energy card, as I mentioned before in this, is not to hold on to your guilt, but rather accept the mistakes you've made and use it as a way to grow and learn. Every mistake we make, every choice we do, we can always come at it again and choose differently. It's funny how the universe will keep presenting itself over and over and over again until we freaking learn our lessons. And each time it presents it, it just gets more intense. So you gotta let go. You gotta go with the flow. Gotta allow the waters and the currents of your timeline to flow freely. You need to stop putting your own boulders in the way, causing so much agitation and irritation to the currents of the water in your timeline. So my Chalk card message is to just focus on those mistakes, because those mistakes you've made have made you a wiser, more knowledgeable person, more understanding. And when we can grow and heal from our mistakes, we recognize the very things in people, and we can empathize with them because we've been there too. We've healed from it, and we can help them. So as I'm grieving, I've been working through a lot of things. And I've been trying to put forth good energy into this world, regardless of how I'm feeling about something. Now, I know that what happened in my life, there's a higher timeline that I'm coming into that I cannot see quite yet. There's a timeline that I've embarked on that is for my better, most good, my highest self, my better interest in my life. I have no idea what's to come. But what I do know is that when my daughter and I will reunite, it'll rekindle the very thing that I had started with at day one, her first breath. My daughter herself will reforge that fire that she once felt for me. The manipulation, the deception, the provocation of and defamation of me to my child, and manipulating her beliefs about me and making her fearful of me, those are all projections of her environment. I know that my child has had a magical and wonderful experience with me, full of adventure. I give her all my time, as much as I can, and I balance it. Like, I manage all of it, so it's, it's just a shame that it's come to this. But what I realize is that all of this is a projection of the other home. They aren't healed. And in my healing, I now recognize the hurt that they are feeling. And it's hard to let go. It's hard to want to control, because I'm a proud father. I love my girls. I'm just like any other dad. We want what's best for our children. As a provider, that's our role. It's ingrained in our DNA. And that's where I feel like I'm having a fight against, is the very primal instinct of the old ways that we're indoctrinated into. I know my child will come back, and I trust that it'll be a glorious day when it happens. But the truth has to come out. I have to speak my truth. I don't want to because I know the pain that comes with the truth that I carry. I feel the pain and I'm empathetic to it. I don't want to. I want to resolve things civilly. I want the past to be the past, to be done with. But the truth is, the truth has to be told. The only way we can heal the darkness is by bringing the light to it. So this week I've been working on a bunch of projects, been trying new things, experimenting with my webpage, experimenting with all sorts of things, really. But so one of the things that I made is this bracelet, completely hand woven for somebody. And I've applied the patina finish to all of these. So I love working with this. So this guy, he bought a pendant from me, petrified wood with copper, and he's like, I just want a copper bracelet. So we spent a great deal of time weaving every little stitch on this by hand. Another one I created today was this Green Aventurine. And I'll post pictures. I got my reels coming. This one was really interesting, another concept, but I did a time-lapse video of this creation here. And what we got here is Rainbow Obsidian, the positive vibe stone, the one I absolutely love. And then this is a new one I've never really seen before, but what it's called is Purple Jasper, but it's brecciated, so you can see the blues. But what's crazy with it is the dendrite. So those are those black flecks that you see in there. Super cool. So this is a new time-lapse concept. I love these ones, the framed ones. They look really pretty, simple, elegant. But I also like the weaving. That's a very masculine thing when it comes to wire wrapping. I like the weaving. So here's another one that I made earlier this week. This is labradorite. If I can get it to pop here. The sun has gone away. Oh, there we go. Look at that sheen. Oh my gosh. And I'm telling you, it looks more spectacular in person. But yeah, I wish I had some sunlight. It's been super gloomy. They keep spraying the sky. And I think they did it because they don't want me to experience the full moon that we just had. Completely raining last 3 days. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, I love the rain. I love it. But the timing of them creating this, it's just wild. So anyway, that's my labradorite one that I made. And this one is another one of my favorites. This is another talisman. I haven't given it a name yet, because I haven't really had one come to me. But what this is a peach aventurine rose. And I made this one through a color reading. So I use these color cards, and the card that I drew for my next talisman, basically what I said was, I need 3 colors for my next talisman. I want to make the energies match the colors, whatever. So I drew it. So the first card I drew was apricot. And this is kind of an apricot color, even though it's called peach aventurine. The next card I drew was emerald, which is really interesting. But I actually did have a chunk of emerald, and it's got pyrite in it. Super cool. You can see the bale there. Super pretty. Just love the way this came together. Okay, so I did actually have an emerald. Now, it's not a high quality one. Obviously, there's no translucence that everyone's looking for with emerald, but it's still emerald. And then this one, opalite. The next card I drew was rainbow, was the rainbow energy. And opalite is super cool because it's kind of clear, it's translucent, it absorbs all of the color that it sits against. So no matter what you're wearing, it's going to embody the colors of it. Absolutely love it. Made this little charm. And then that's a Swarovski crystal. Absolutely love it. It's a glass, but it has the clarity and translucence of a diamond. The best glass crystals that you can ever buy are Swarovski glass crystals. Best sparkle, best bling. So this is my next little talisman. I'm still working on a name for it because of the energies that are in it. It's super cool. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin because there's so much going on here. I never would have thought emerald, which is pretty powerful, would go well with the peach aventurine, and the opalite is just a perfect balancer to both of those. It's super cool. But the rain, so in my color cards, the emerald looks like a raindrop. And so that's where the idea of this came from, was like the opalite shape looked like a raindrop, as if the morning dew from the rose. You know, I have the petals will have the little water beating up and it's like dripping off. Anyway, in the morning, that's kind of what I was feeling with this one. I absolutely love it. But look at the intricate weave work. Like, I love doing stuff like this. Just looks so cool. Anyway, so we're at 30 minutes now. It's the end of my coffee and rocks. I had a couple powerful messages there. But today, Monday, is my day for self-care, reflection, healing, overcoming, not working, just being me. This is also a day I do laundry, get my bedding all freshened up, take a shower. Actually, today I'm going to do another crystal bath with my detoxing potassium, magnesium, and zinc herbal bath, my bath salts. And I'm certainly enjoying my cup of coffee today. Oh, a little update: the Shilajit. I'm about a week into using my Shilajit, and actually probably 4 days now. Man, time flies when you're living this way. But yeah, the Shilajit, I just take it raw now. I'm just like I love it. The whole idea of having to dissolve it, it's kind of like, I like molasses, brown sugar, like molasses. I love it. Black licorice, my favorite. So the Shilajit just reminds me of that, but it's like a goopy tar. um, and I just take my 800 milligrams straight up in the mouth and then have my coffee to wash it down because it's pretty sticky. Um, but I like it. Just in a few days, I feel alive. I feel more like a man now. You know, being defamated and stripped of me being a father is very demasculinating. Makes you really question who you are as a person when the very thing that you've worked hard for was taken from you. It's just, it's been quite the journey, but I'm doing good. I'm healing. I'm getting through it. You know, I'm learning. I'm growing. I am a leader, but I'm on this journey of spirituality that I've never embarked on before. I've not even remotely close. But in a way, my conviction to what I do is I do want to help heal. And I can't help heal until I help heal myself. So it's been an amazing experience. But I appreciate everything. I love you guys so very much. And I send you so many blessings, so much love. I'm always, when I'm channeling, when I'm in the zone, I'm creating, people come to my mind, and I send a little prayer for them. Every time, anytime anyone pops into my mind, I send a little prayer. I mean, it's just, it becomes so, um, just, just so instant now. Praying isn't, the dogma of praying from religion is ridiculous. Praying can be done in so many different ways and forms, and really praying is just manifesting. You're attracting in using a method of manifestation. Um, but you're verbalizing. You're saying, you're putting forth a verbal energy towards whatever direction you're there, and it's interesting because science can prove this. That, say a blood sample from somebody was extracted and it was sent off across the country to be analyzed, but the host itself that the sample came from, let's just say they got inflicted a little bit of pain, right? Well, the sample across the world from that host would respond in the same way. They've been proving this. And speaking your voice through prayer is acting in the same manner. So now when people come into my mind, it's not necessarily that I'm just thinking about them. I actively just send them a prayer. Always. It doesn't matter. If I'm feeling inspired, and I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling low vibe and I'm working through some things, I don't have energy to exhaust like that. So I don't. But most of the times I have enough to give that I can just share a little prayer of love and hope and blessing to somebody when they pop in my head. You know, because I think when we verbalize all of it constantly, we're applying to the collective, and it sends ripples, and other people might be affected by this too because of the ripple of the very one thing. The ripples go in all directions, and it's interesting seeing the way energy flows is like water. It's just it's very water is the best conductor of energy, and it only makes sense that everything ripples like water. Everything energetic. It only makes sense to me this way anymore. It's all like water. So have a wonderful day. If you haven't done it yet already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and have a blessed and wonderful day. Stay tuned for my next episode. And today I will be finalizing the rest of my creations on my website. I'll be updating it with a bunch of new stuff, so feel free to check it out. My website is Sweet Roxx, Roxx, handcraftedjewelry.com. Yes, it's a long name, but it's very specific to who I am and what I represent. Sweet Roxx, handcraftedjewelry.com. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to that Step Into Your Power community. It's absolutely amazing. It's the most positive thing I've ever plugged into. I absolutely love it. The people there are so kind and so loving. So if you're feeling low vibe, check it out. Go through the application. Yeah, it's a process, whatever. But it's free to join. And you owe it to yourself to at least check it out. Seriously. I'll leave links below. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.